Students, it's wonderful that we connect again on this online platform, and I hope you all are well and paying attention toward your studies. As you know, this is your biology class, and in our previous lecture we have learned about the different types of respiration, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Today we will discuss about the organ system of respiratory system in respiration in human beings. So let's start with respiration in human beings. Respiration in human beings. As we know, we inhale or exhale with the help of our nostrils. Air enters through nostrils, and two nares or nostrils are present on the upper side of upper lip. These nostrils open into a cavity known as the nostrils open into nasal cavity or nasal chamber. Nasal cavity open into nasopharynx. 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 A hard palate is present in between the oral cavity and nasal cavity. Hard palate. Nasopharynx is the common passage between oral cavity and nasal cavity. Nasopharynx divided into two tubular structure, one at the ventral part of the body and second towards the dorsal part. On ventral part, trachea or windpipe is present, and second tube is esophagus. It is a food pipe in which food is swallowed. On trachea, a cartilaginous box, that portion of trachea, a cartilaginous box is present known as larynx. Larynx or sound box. Vibration in these cartilaginous flap or box produce sound. So it is also known as sound box. A lid like structure known as epiglottis is present on glottis part of the trachea. When we swallow food, this glottis cover this epiglottis. Epiglottis is also a cartilaginous flap-like structure. This glottis covered the trachea to prevent the entry of food inside the windpipe or trachea. at the dorsal region of vertebral column at fifth thoracic vertebra, at the point of fifth thoracic vertebra, trachea divided into two tubes known as bronchus. These bronchus enter in lungs. Right lung have three lobes and comparatively larger than left lung, because left lung have only two lobes. A muscular flap known as diaphragm. So trachea is a straight tube moved toward the thoracic cavity and divided into two bronchus at the point of fifth thoracic vertebra. These bronchus enter in the lungs and divided further into primary, secondary and tertiary bronchus. These bronchus, primary, secondary and tertiary bronchus, again enter into a thin tube like structure known as bronchioles. So bronchus divided into primary, secondary and tertiary bronchi, and bronchi again divided into bronchioles, primary, secondary and ultimately terminal bronchiole. Terminal bronchiole enter into a balloon-shaped structure, balloon-shaped sac-like structure known as alveoli. Primary, secondary and tertiary bronchus. These tertiary bronchus open into bronchioles. Primary, secondary and terminal. Primary is also known as initial bronchiole, secondary bronchiole and terminal bronchioles. Bronchioles open into alveoli, a sac-like structure known as alveoli. A muscular flap is known as diaphragm. All the structure occupy in thoracic cavity. Thoracic cavity is airtight chamber which form from on ventral surface by vertebral column, ventral surface is covered by, on dorsal surface covered with vertebral column, on ventral surface sternum is present, lateral surface covered with ribs, and on lower surface diaphragm is present. These parts form airtight thoracic cavity. So anatomical reason of lungs is that if any change in thoracic cavity, it occurs change in pulmonary cavity. Now next is steps of respiration. First step is breathing. Breathing means inhale or exhale of air. Second is air. When we inhale air goes inside the lungs and ultimately inside the alveoli. Our lungs is surrounded by or covered by pleural membrane. It is a double layered membrane in which pleural fluid is filled. Pleural fluid is filled, which prevent lungs from any injury. The surface of lungs is highly vascularized and exchange of gases occur in between the lungs and alveoli of lungs and blood capillaries. The second step of respiration is exchange of gases between alveoli and blood capillaries, blood vessels or capillaries. Now next is transport of gases, transport of gases. Through blood. These gases reaches to tissue. So blood transport these gases to tissue or cells of the organ. Fourth step is exchange of gases in between cells of organ or tissue. So we can divide it respiration into 4 steps, that is breathing, exchange of gases between alveoli and blood vessels, in lungs, transport of gases through blood, and exchange of gases in between cells, organ or tissue. Next is exchange of gases occur in alveoli and blood vessels tissue or cells in organs, or this occur in lungs. Both of these process depends on partial pressure and permeability of membrane. These exchange of gases occur simply through diffusion and totally dependent on partial pressure and permeability of the membrane. In alveoli, the thickness of alveolar membrane and blood vessel is less than 0.1 millimeter. Less than 0.1 millimeter. So it is permeable to diffuse gases in between alveoli and blood vessels. Also in tissue part, transport through blood, gases transport through blood by hemoglobin in RBC through blood plasma, dissolve in blood plasma, and CO2 transported, 70% of CO2 transported as bicarbonate. The partial pressure in tissues or cells is also different, and gases easily exchange in between tissue and blood vessels. The partial pressure of CO2 is more in tissues than blood, and partial pressure of oxygen is more in blood. So easily transportation takes place in between blood and tissue. Now next is mechanism of breathing. Mechanism of breathing. Mechanism of breathing. The average value of breathing air is 12 to 16 times per minute. 12 to 16 times per minute. And average volume of breathing air can be measured with the help of a device known as spirometer. Spirometer. Now we study the mechanism of breathing. In breathing, once we inhale and then exhale, the breathing can be divided into two steps. First is inhale, mean inspiration or inhale, and second is expiration or exhale. As we know, the thoracic cavity is airtight chamber. In breathing, two muscles are involved. That is diaphragm and intercostal muscles, external or internal intercostal muscles present on the ribs. When both the muscles, intercostal muscles and diaphragm are contract, volume of thoracic cavity increases. When diaphragm is contract, it becomes flat, and when intercostal muscles are contract, then it moves upward, in upward direction. And the volume of thoracic cavity increases. When volume of thoracic cavity increases, air goes inside the lungs through nostrils. Second is expiration and exhale. In this case, diaphragm and intercostal muscles are in relaxed position. When diaphragm or intercostal muscles are relaxed, diaphragm become dome shaped and move upward, and ribs moves downward. It decreases the volume of thoracic cavity, and air inside the lungs, we exhale, moves out through nostrils. So, in breathing, two muscles are involved. One, diaphragm. Diaphragm is a muscular flap which divided our thoracic cavity from abdominal cavity and present below the lungs. Intercostal muscles are present on ribs externally and internally. With the help of contraction and relaxation of these two muscles, intercostal muscles and diaphragm, help in breathing, inhalation or exhalation. So in this lecture, we studied about the respiration in human being. Now next topic of this chapter or last topic of this chapter is respiration in plants. Students, as we know, plants do not have any respiratory organs or organ system. Plants respire or do exchange of gases with the help of tiny pores present on the leaves, epidermis, that is stomata. In leaves, and lenticels are present on stem. Other pore-like structures such as hydrothords are also present. So plants do not have a well-developed respiratory system like other animals. The reason behind this is in plants, there are two reasons of this question why plants do not have any well-developed respiratory system. First is, all plant parts are in direct contact of atmosphere. Leaves are flattened structure and have tiny pores or stomata. Through exchange of gases takes place with the help of diffusion. Atmospheric air have more oxygen than inside air. Then oxygen goes inside the cell and CO2 are evolved outside. Stem of plants also have tiny pores known as lenticels. With the help of these lenticels, exchange of gases takes place. So, one first reason is that the all plant part are in direct contact of atmospheric air. So, their exchange of gases easily taken place and plant do not have or not needed a well-developed respiratory system. Second is compensation point. As we know, respiration and photosynthesis both are reversible process. In respiration, oxygen is consumed and food is oxidized to produce CO2. But in photosynthesis, CO2 is consumed and oxygen is evolved. So, both the reversible process occur inside the body of a same plant or same cells. So, a compensation point is reached between two processes in leaves, photosynthesis as well as respiration. These both processes are reversible process, and both the gases required by the plant through atmosphere already available in the body of plant. So a compensation point is reached. Plant use that oxygen in respiration which evolved in photosynthesis.